Yo, welcome back in, guys. How's it going? So recently on stream, we were challenged to get all golds in the licenses on the original Gran Turismo. Let's check it out. Let's see how we did. So recently we were playing some old PlayStation games on stream, and we were playing a bit of Gran Turismo. We didn't really play any of the races. We just jumped straight into the licenses, because the old licenses for me in the Gran Turismos were the highlight of the game. I used to really enjoy them above any other aspect. So we jumped into some of the licenses, and I was actually kind of shocked how difficult they are. This very first one, I accelerated away from the start, stopped in the box and failed. That would definitely have been a pass. In the new Gran Turismo 7. There's no doubt about it, that would have been a pass. So I was absolutely shocked that you could have a good start, accelerate completely down this straight, stop in the box and still fail. We were discussing how difficult they are in the stream, and it was said that you had to be an alien to gold all of these licenses. And that's how it came to be. Somebody challenged me to try and get all gold on all of the licenses. And I'm not one to turn down a challenge. So those first two licenses, they relied on just having a good start and almost frame perfect braking. The first one, obviously, you're just seeing me do these in one go. What you're not seeing is the amount of time it took me to do them. I think B1 actually took me in the region of maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Just getting the acceleration right and just braking the exact point. I think the 1,000 meters is actually a bit long. I think on the newer ones they've got it right, where most of these acceleration and stopping licenses, especially in the slower cars, I think they're like 100 meters, and they get longer as the cars get faster. The second one was a little bit faster. B2 we actually did kind of quickly in comparison to B1. B3 actually took me an hour and 10 minutes. It was quite the struggle trying to get to grips with the original physics of this game. And the physics on Gran Turismo 1 are very different to Gran Turismo 2. Those of you that have been watching the evolution of tracks, we hear me talk about it very often. But yeah, an hour and 10 minutes on B3. B4 was actually 10 minutes, because once we've got the line and a hang of the physics, it became very much easier to get this line correctly. And luckily for us, the licenses, I'd actually forgotten, but they're kind of like, you know, you just have to do the same corner over and over again. So we're on B5, and we've only actually done 2 sections of track. We've just done the drag race, essentially, and then B3, B4, and 5 are all the first corner of Deep Forest Raceway. B5 is in the GTO. Actually took us 25 minutes to complete. Getting used to the faster car. Come on. Yes. Think they're not. We should look at the time we've actually got to get. I was talking about this earlier, right? Just think about, this is 1997. In like 1991, I was still playing my Spectrum, dude. Look at the jump in graphics in that time for me personally. Went from playing Dizzy's freaking Treasure Island Adventure to racing around a track in 3D. So B6 is a section from High Speed Ring. I'm not sure if we got really lucky or if it's just a really simple section of track, but we actually did this in 2 attempts. And we really start picking up the pace now here through the National B license. B7 again, same section of track, but this time in the Nissan Silvia. Again, we did this relatively quickly, just 5 minutes, so probably just a small handful of attempts. The hardest thing for us here really is the fact that we're using you know, an old school pad. We're using a D-pad. So it's hard to be smooth around the corners. You're constantly just... It's more about the repetitions of pressing the direction to get the angle that you want. Smashed it, didn't we? Yeah, nailed it that time. F***ing nailed it. We'd already messed it on the previous. But yeah, B8, the test. I think that's the Honda S2000, and this is a full lap of high-speed ring. By Thursday, yeah. It only took us a handful of attempts to this one as well. I've got in my notes it says this only took us 7 minutes. Vintage, yeah, it's definitely vintage. But yeah, after an early scare, I've taken an hour and 10 minutes on B3. We did actually manage to get through the rest of this license relatively quickly. And it looks like we're gonna make easy work of this license challenge. Feel like we could have held accelerator for longer then. It's PS5. Oh yeah, the elation of completing the National B license. That's it, right? Yeah, baby. It's actually really hard for me not to swear, although we do plenty of it, as you can tell from the beeping. National A license then, we've got the Supra down the last and first corners of Deep Forest Raceway. Silly, all of you. Like the other day, we're all talking about weight. Fox is like, what the f are you talking about? These pounds and stones and shit. Alright, this one feels like it's going to be a little bit tougher.
2 hours later.
Yeah, no joke. 2 hours. 2 hours of attempting this one. So at the relative success of finishing the National B license fast, we're suddenly met with the reality of this challenge. It is going to be hard. At this point, we are currently on 327 days in-game, which equates to 327 attempts. I think we spent another 40 minutes on this one. So this license, the National A1, this license took us a total of 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is low-key ridiculous. Not much. I think I actually spent more time on this one license than I did any other. And we literally scraped over the line to the 1,000th of a second. You can see each time we finish one now, we are totally elated at doing it. For the rest of the license tests as well, now these aren't actually in order because at some points we just need a break from doing them. I didn't want to spend another 2 hours total. I needed the good feeling of having completed one. So we've in some places we've skipped over them after trying them for long periods of time. We actually skipped over A3 after spending 40 minutes on it. Some of the licenses I found easier than others, essentially because I'm more familiar with the courses. Like here on A4, Deep Forest Raceway, we actually spent a decent amount of time last week recording laps for Deep Forest Raceway for the other series we have going, the evolution of Gran Turismo tracks. Go check that out if you haven't checked that out already. So I was already very comfortable taking a fast car around Deep Forest Raceway. And thus, we actually managed to finish this license in 17 minutes, which is the quickest of all the National A licenses. Yo, we just did it, boys. Yes. Yeah. Was all that first fuck, not the first corner, second corner. Yeah, just that number 3, man. That's a tough one. We'll come back to it though.
2 hours later.
That wasn't quite 2 hours. It was actually another hour and a half that we put into doing this license test. We definitely found A5 very, very tricky. It didn't take us the longest. A1 was definitely the longest. But that was more about just getting a fast car around a relatively tight corner. A5 had a lot of difficult corners joined together. Getting around this right-hander fast and then getting down the speed to try and get into the tunnel. And getting the exit fast enough to continue our momentum down the tunnel was really, really tricky. And that actually brought us to the end of day 2. Not much success on day 2. This game is kicking our backside for sure. So day 3 starts and we're back on a very familiar Deep Forest Raceway. Very happy for this. And thus we actually managed to finish this one relatively fast again. A6 we managed to tuck away in 11 minutes. Come on. Let's go. I was actually a little bit nervous about A7. I thought this was going to be a lot more difficult than it actually was. But we actually managed to one-shot this license. It's a terrible first loop there, 7 seconds. But we actually just crushed the last laps. I think they're all 5 seconds. Yeah, destroyed it. First go. Surprised to do it as well. Oh, swear in my mother. Fucking one shot, baby. Let's. So we go back to A3. This one was extremely challenging. We didn't spend an awful amount of time here. If you remember me saying, we actually spent 40 minutes on day 2. And it took a further 30 minutes on day 3 to get the gold here. It's a very, very, very tricky license test. You've got this really boring, long section. And as you get to this turn, because of the camber, the undulation of the corner, as you brake, the car just wants to go left. So you've got to kind of fight the natural lay of the track, as well as getting like a nice turn in, keeping your momentum down the track. And you can see overjoyed to finally get the gold on that one. Hard not to swear then. Let's go. So yeah, A5, another one that we skipped. This is the one that we spent an hour and a half on day 2. Their own thing, is it? Again, really, really tricky. This. Yeah, we'll grind this out. Each corner itself isn't tricky, but getting them together was definitely the tricky part. But this left's really easy, but it's this right-hander, keeping the speed, getting the right angle, and then getting the speed down, but also keeping momentum over that curb into this tunnel. Oh, they're rivals? Okay. Fuck yeah. Fist pump for victory. That one's for you, Milltown. I'm literally holding full right. So National A test in the Supra on this long section of Grand Valley Speedway. A track that we're hoping comes to GT7 soon. Cars. I never played GTA Online. I watched some people play it and it really just put me off. Like, again, in the Supra it's even worse. So as you get to this corner, it wants to drag you to the left. Got to take a really nice arc around the right-hander. Right. Oh my god, it's Babby Shane. And then after this S, got like a really tricky... This could be the money shot. Yeah, not the greatest turn, but we did such a good job on the first corner. We just managed to scrape in. It was. We took that corner so well. Oh, baby, I like it raw. There we have it. We've got National B and National A down. Just International A left. Yep. G frickin' G. Let's go save that. First license. The TVR Griffith. I really don't like this car. I didn't realize actually 4 of International A licenses are in the TVR Griffith. The other 4 are in the Dodge Viper. This Griffith handles like a bag of crap. Luckily, high speed ring, relatively easy track. I think in total it just has like 6 corners, so relatively forgiving. It actually just took us 25 minutes. Like we were really close after just a couple of attempts, but just fine tuning it. And getting all these corners accurately, getting the drive out. 25 minutes and done. Come on. Can you believe this? This is we think we've failed, but oh, dude, I thought we just get it. Like right, so we attempt International A2. Yo, let's go. For about 35 minutes. In the end, we give up, and that's the end of the session. So we move on to day 4. Technically, this is actually day 5. What you haven't seen is we've been mostly playing this on the Mister with a D-pad, and I thought it might be advantageous for us to switch over and play on my PlayStation 3 because we would have analog sticks. I spent about 2 or 3 hours trying to do International A2, which is Special Stage Route 5, and failed miserably. And then we forgot to save it again. But I didn't want to have to grind through National A, National B to come back here, so we actually come back to the Mister. We actually spend about 30 minutes trying to do Grand Valley Speedway before moving on to International A4, Deep Forest Raceway. Again, played this track quite a lot recently, and we managed to get it relatively quickly. Really just had to get used to the Viper, and we knocked this one out in 25 minutes. Couple of hairy moments around Deep Forest, but yeah, we were really confident we were going to get this one. It was really, at this point, we're really trying to build confidence. Easy, let's go. If I'm truly honest, I wasn't sure we were going to all gold International A, and I was kind of just moving on, making sure we could gold the ones that we could. How you doing, dude? and getting the best that we could on the ones that we couldn't. But yeah, IA4 in the bag. So in between Deep Forest and Trial Mountain, we do actually try Autumn Ring. We spent about 30 minutes on Autumn Ring before skipping over it again. Trial Mountain, one of my all-time favorite Gran Turismo tracks. It was the first episode of the evolution of Gran Turismo tracks. So again, if you haven't checked out that series, definitely go check it out. Again, super comfortable around here. And it didn't take very long for us to gold it. We actually spent just 12 minutes at Trial Mountain. Really started to enjoy driving the Viper. It's absolutely glorious compared to the Griffith. You really calm? Yeah, I never really got. I've never been one of those people. I can't remember what the gold time required was for Trial Mountain, but we really smashed out the park. I think we were maybe half a second under time. We did put some time into S7, which is Special Stage Route 11, at the end of day 4. We put in about 20 minutes and it was awful. I don't remember Special Stage 11 at all. I basically had to learn every corner afresh. But yeah, day 5, we're going to start from the beginning. Most of the time we put into Special Stage 5, which is International A2 now, was on the PlayStation 3. I can't remember exactly how long we put into it, but we put a fair amount of time into this course, trying to learn the line. It actually looks really bright, this footage. It's because I've got some color correction filters added to my capture card in slobs. On my screen when I'm playing these, they just look so dark. As well as that, I'm actually playing it on a large monitor, so it looks a bit of a pixelated mess at times. But yeah, Special Stage Route 5, actually a really cool track. Another track I'd love to see in Gran Turismo 7. Little brush. Oh, this is so fast. We just brushed up against the wall. Come on. Come on. Boom. In the end, we're something like half a second at a time here as well. So yeah, after Route 5, we decided that we'd come back to Route 11. This course is actually relatively long. It's well over 2 minutes, and it took us a long time. It took us a long time to get to grips with. We actually spent another hour here after the 48 minutes we spent on day 5. I feel like most of that time, as well as learning the corners, was really getting to grips with this TVR. I really didn't enjoy driving it at all. First wall ride here, just to try and get as much advantage as possible. We also used the wall ride technique a little bit further down the track. Yeah, this corner, every time I came to it, it felt like it went to the left. And then I would just suddenly just get caught out and smash into the wall. I spinned it so many times there whilst learning the track. On day 5 in general, we had such good progress. I actually, when I started day 5 in the stream, I actually said that just doing one of these a day was all we needed to finish the challenge in the time that we were set. And every time we finish one now, it's almost shock. Like, we weren't expecting it. We were just expecting to get Special Stage 5 done. I was actually expecting to spend all night on Special Stage 11, but we got it done. And we go to Autumn Ring, which is another track. I remember Autumn Ring from playing Gran Turismos, but again, I couldn't remember it as well as I could some of the other ones that are included in GT7 and the later versions. In a couple places around the track, it feels like there's undulation that you just can't see. The car actually kind of gets dragged one way or the other. At first, you're just not expecting it and the car just gets dragged off. But after a while, you kind of get used to it. Few really tricky corners around here. This long left-hander was catching me out a lot. How the game let us get away with that is beyond me, but glad it was forgiven there. I think as we go over the line, we're actually surprised. Yeah, you can see I didn't think I got it, and then the moment we realize. To be sub 120. So back to International A3, Grand Valley Speedway, the whole course. Miata. It's a TVR. Handles like a bag of Yeah, basically just a boy's Miata. So it's like most people consider Miatas, or MX-5 as we like to call them, a girl's car. The benefit of this track actually being one of the International A licenses, almost every corner has been covered in the earlier licenses. You would have seen us struggling on this section and all the way down to this tight right-hander. All these were included. And I think the first time I got here I was surprised that then this is the other section we were really struggling on. So every bit of this track we struggled on at an earlier point. In total, probably spent about 8 hours just doing different sections of this course. So when it actually came to doing the whole thing, it was just a case of piecing it all together and then the very few corners. So this corner wasn't a part of any license test. After the tunnel and the bridge, took a couple bonks there. Surprising this is gold. Yeah, then after this tunnel, we've got the chicane. Surprisingly, I still remembered this section of the track though, so it wasn't too difficult when we got here. I think on this one we're surprised as well that we get it. I think we thought we needed a 156. Yeah, so excited. We want to swear our head off. Hold it in. We fucking did it, boys. Same place, seriously. So International A license tests for the win. Just glad it's not in the TVR. Back in the Viper. This is in reverse. So no sections have been done. I was actually surprised. I thought this would take hours. I genuinely thought this would take hours. I was actually surprised how well we could remember the track despite everything being backwards. I think we actually do another sneaky wall rub down here as well. In an earlier attempt, we actually nearly fall through the wall. It's kind of almost blew my mind. Got to let off then to get a bit more rotation. That's a bit disappointing. But all in all, this only took us a handful of attempts. We only actually spent 20 minutes on International A8. I was actually blown away how fast we did it. And we managed to finish 5 of International A on day 5. It really was amazing. We managed to hook up the cars, got used to the physics of the game. We are officially an alien. I think we will do another video seeing if we can all gold all the licenses on Gran Turismo 2. They should be equally as hard, but I know that there are a lot more. Well, YouTube video. So there it is. Success. We managed to gold every license in the original Gran Turismo. Let me know if you've tried this or if there are any ones that you struggled with. I think in total we took 906 attempts, but that doesn't include the attempts that we took on the PlayStation 3, which, like I said, had another 3 hours. Should have been quite a bit. Yeah, they use it in the speed run. So there it is. Hopefully see you again in the next video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. As always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. That really helps the algorithm. And hopefully see you again in the next video, guys. Peace.